This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Erika Kristensen-Lee. Tonight on the Scorecard, Cobb calls it a career, moves to coaching staff. Stanley Pringle hits a 5,000-point mark, makes terra firma history. 57 players advance to final round of 2025 PVL Draft. Rutschman homer and Kierstad triple power Orioles to fifth straight win over Mariners 3-2. In the NBA Finals, Haliburton ready for giant task. Pacers embrace underdog role versus Thunder. And College of St. Benilde's ace spiker Rocky Moto shares how he handles pressure on the court and bears his message to their team's bashers. All the headlines and more. Don't miss the Scorecard tonight, the 5th of June. Now, here's a roundup. After years of serving as the heart and soul of the Akari Chargers, Cobb is officially retiring from professional volleyball. The veteran setter and team captain made the announcement following Akari's reveal that she will be taking on a new role in the team's management and coaching staff. In a message, Cobb shared that she is closing a chapter and will retire with a grateful heart, proud of everything the journey has given her. Cobb burst onto the scene as LaSalle's main setter in the UAAP before joining Akari in 2022 as one of its original players when the team debuted in the PVL. Standing at 5'4", she made a big impact on the court, leading the Chargers to 2 podium finishes, including a finalist slot in the reinforced conference and a bronze medal in the 2024-2025 All-Filipino Conference. With Cobb now moving to the sidelines, Camille Cal takes over as a sole playmaker for Akari. The Chargers recently made another big move, parting ways with Japanese coach Taka Minowa and promoting veteran mentor Tina Salak as their new head coach. Akari looks to boost its roster further in the upcoming PVL Rookie Draft, where it holds the 10th overall pick on Sunday at Novotel. Stanley Pringle has officially etched his name into the record books, becoming the first terra firma player to join the PBA's elite 5,000-point club. The veteran guard hit the milestone during the Jeep's Philippine Cup showdown against Rain or Shine at the Phil Sports Arena. Pringle, who was the #1 overall pick in the 2014 draft by Global Port, reached the 5,000-point mark at the 4-minute, 2-second mark of the second quarter. He becomes the 100th player in the league history to achieve this certain feat. And according to PBA statistician Fidel Mangonon III, he is now the 95th local, 15th among active players, and the first to do it while playing for terra firma. The 38-year-old Phil-Am joins Meralco's Chris Newsom as the only 2 players to hit the scoring milestone this season. Pringle joined terra firma at the start of season 49 in a blockbuster trade that sent him and Christian Stan Hardinger from Barangay Ginebra in exchange for Stephen Holt and Isaac Go. Now, while his PBA journey began with Batang Pier, Pringle's prime years came with Ginebra, where he won 4 championships, claimed a scoring title, and was named the best player of the conference in the 2020 bubble season in Clark. Despite terra firma's tough run this season with a 3-28 record heading into the match against Rain or Shine, Pringle's milestone shines as a bright spot for the franchise. An all-around scorer, reliable floor general, and proven winner, Pringle continues to make his mark on the league, 1 bucket at a time. Moving on to volleyball, a total of 57 athletes have secured spots in the final pool for the 2025 Premier Volleyball League Draft after completing all paperwork. They are now eligible for selection this Sunday at the Novotel Manila. Headlining the draft, of course, is 3-time UAAP MVP Bella Belen of National University, joined by her NU teammates Erin Pangilinan, Sheena Toring, Pearl Ann Benura, and Jeremy Ann Turaray. De La Salle is represented by Alea Malaluan, Baby Jean Soreno, Juliana Tolentino, and Jessa Ordiales. Adamson's May-Ann Nike, Aisha Juegos, and others complete the list. Other notable UAAP prospects include Ateneo's Alexis Minor, Far Eastern University's Jean Assis, University of Santo Tomas Pia Abu, and University of the Philippines Nita Celis. Angela Jackson, former UP integrated school spiker and youngest at 20, is also in the draft pool. Filipino-American setters Alohi Robinson Hardy and Tia Andaya bring international experience. From the NCAA College of St. Benilde, MVP Micah Gall leads 17 players, including Arellano's Christine Adante, Letrans Angelique Ledesma, and San Beda's Jan Gregorio. For Phil-Canadian prospects, Iveyan Orpiano, Reynali Calisin, Clara Serrano, and Divine Cortez aim to follow PLDT Savvy Davidson and Creamline's Alea Torres. Additional hopefuls, of course, include Shane Carmona, Erica Deloria, Ivy Aquino, and 39-year-old Rose Joy Penuela. Capital One winners of this draft lottery hold the first ever pick. Galleries Tower is second, Farm Fresh third, and NX led the fourth. The 2025 PVL Draft promises to bring fresh talent and exciting new faces to the professional volleyball scene. In Major League Baseball, Heston Kierstad's two-run triple in the seventh put Baltimore ahead, and the Orioles held on to beat Seattle 3-2, marking their fifth straight victory. Adley Rutschman tied the game with a solo homer in the sixth inning, contributing to Baltimore's hot streak with 8 wins in their last 10 games. The Orioles have now won back-to-back series for the first time this season and look to complete a second consecutive 3-game sweep. Kierstad sent a cutter from Mariners reliever Carlos Vargas into the right field corner, pushing Baltimore in the front. Seattle loaded the bases with 1 out in the ninth, but Orioles closer Felix Bautista struck out the final 2 batters to record his 11th save. The Mariners had earlier taken a 2-1 lead on a sacrifice fly by Randy Arrizorena and an RBI single by Cal Raleigh. Baltimore starter Cade Povich gave up 2 runs and 4 hits over 5 1/3 innings, while reliever Yennier Cano picked up the win. Emerson Hancock started for Seattle, allowing 2 hits and striking out 6 over 5 2/3 innings. Moving over to the NBA, Tyrese Haliburton knows the odds are stacked against the Indiana Pacers, but he wouldn't have it any other way as they face the top-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals starting Friday.
They're a great team, well coached. He's an amazing player, and it's going to be a fun series.
Jared McCain, NBA player correspondent.
They're a great team. They have the MVP. They've been the best all year. Haliburton said of the Thunder, who won 68 games behind a monster season from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Pacers had a hard-fought road to the finals, taking down Cleveland and then the New York Knicks in 6 games. The Thunder, on the other hand, have been resting after a gentleman's sweep of Minnesota in the West. The Pacers also faced a minor travel delay this week as weather forced their flight to land in Tulsa instead of Oklahoma City. With the stage set and the odds stacked, Haliburton and the Pacers are ready to prove that heart, hunger, and hustle can still shock the NBA world. And just in, after a significant layoff since his Olympic double gold heroics, Carlos Yulo, the Filipino gymnastics phenom, returned to competition and walked away with all-around bronze at the 2025 Asian Championships. Yulo posted 83,633 points across 6 events, landing right behind Japanese powerhouses Shinosuke Oka and Chusoyi Hasegawa. He topped qualifying in floor, his signature event, and also made it to event finals of 4 other events: vault, rings, parallel bars, and horizontal bar. He is not just back, he is making a statement. The Paris champion is back on his grind, and the rest of Asia just got a loud reminder. Carlos Yulo still defying gravity. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Okay, ever heard of a can of corn on the baseball field? Yup, a can of corn refers to an easy, routine fly ball that is simple for an outfielder to catch. The term originated from old grocery stores where shop clerks would easily knock cans off high shelves with a stick and catch them, much like how fielders casually catch these fly balls in the outfield. It's a lighthearted phrase that's been part of baseball slang for decades, and in the world of baseball, even a simple catch comes with a flavorful story. All right, it's time for our off-court buzzer. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman has owned up to a slip-up in ranking boxing legend Manny Pacquiao as the number 5 welterweight contender, calling it a mistake, but assures fans that the title fight is still on. In an interview with Sulaiman, said Pacquiao will be removed from the official WBC rankings following public backlash over his high placement despite being out of the ring for nearly 4 years. Even so, the Filipino icon remains cleared to fight WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios on July 19 at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, July 20 Manila time. And I quote, "We made a mistake in ranking him number 5 and that caused confusion," Sulaiman explained, adding that the bout will proceed under special rules for legendary fighters. Pacquiao, who last fought back in 2021 in a loss to Yordenis Ugas, is set to make his comeback after a lengthy retirement. The WBC initially faced heat for his high ranking, but has since adjusted its stance without canceling the highly anticipated clash. And I quote, "We will talk again on July 20 to see how it went," Sulaiman said, leaving room for possible changes depending on Manny Pacquiao's performance. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 5th of June. Up next, a College of St. Benilde's ace spiker Rocky Moto shares how he handles pressure on the court and bears his message to their team's bashers. So join us back here right on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. He is the College of St. Benilde's ace spiker, a proud Caviteño whose fierce and competitive spirit on the court is truly undeniable. And in a sport where trash talking is not uncommon, his grace under pressure allows him to stand strong and unshakable. Here's Anton Rojas with Rocky Moto.
Rocky, maraming salamat sa oras at sa pag-welcome sa akin dito sa Benilde.
Thank you po.
Kamusta naman, Rocky? Number 1 kayo sa dulo ng elimination round. Was this something na in-expect nyo bago magsimula yung season?
In-expect lang talaga po namin na simula una. Pag-aralan muna yung mga kalaban kasi di pa namin sila actually nakakalaro sa labas. And kailangan po talaga namin i-mindset namin sa utak na kailangan yung gagawin naming play is laging masunod.
So kumbaga yung mindset mo is stick to the game plan of Coach Arnold Lanyog bilang na siya yung nagpa-champion dito sa Benilde noong season 92. Okay. Let's start with you first, Rocky. Tigasan ka ba at paano ka naghilig sa volleyball?
Nag-start po talaga ako sa Dasma.
Okay, Cavite.
Yeah. Sa Ayakika po ako nag-start. Nakuha po ako ni Coach Cookie Castillo.
Okay.
Doon po ako nag-start na mag-volleyball.
Ever since ba, mahilig ka na mag-volleyball or
Opo.
may ibang sport ka ba?
Ayun lang po talaga yung sport ko.
Okay.
Lalo na yung mga pa po kami, bata. Yung naglalaro pa kami sa yung Chinese garter na ayun po
okay.
yun.
Yun yung parang
Na po kami sa street lang. Doon po yung
okay. Paano ka naman napunta sa Manila from Dasma, Cavite?
Nag-try po muna ako ng UP and yung nakuha po ako sa UP.
UPIS pa to?
UP Diliman po. Tapos yung mga friends ko po na galing Cavite po na taga-UE naman, in-invite po ako sa may UE mag-try out. Tinry ko naman po.
Okay.
Is mas gustuhan ko po sa UE kesa sa UP.
So nasa UE ka, pero hindi ka nakapaglaro sa UAP.
Opo. Malis po ako agad.
Ano yung reason?
Mabang kwento po eh.
Okay. Hindi mo ba pwede ikwento?
Pwede naman po kahit konti.
Sige. What is the gist?
Parang nagkaanang po kami ng mga coaches. Nagkalabuan po kami. So parang damay-damay na po lahat. Isa na rin po ako sa nadamay.
Bakit mo pinili yung Benilde out of all the other options na pwede mong piliin?
kung mag-up din po ako, parang ang hirap din po kasi nabutan po ako ng 2 years residency.
Oo nga pala, no? Yung rule na pag mag-shift ka from one UAP
So
to
parang
another school.
pag po ko U up to U up, parang isa na lang din po yung magagamit ko. Kasi isang residency, tapos dalawa pong matatanggal sa playing year.
Wait, itong season na to, season 100, kumbaga rookie season mo to.
Opo.
Kamusta naman yung NC experience? Kasi feeling ko sakto yung pagpasok mo dito sa NC. Kasi for the first time, nag-double round. 18 matches agad yon. So, kamusta naman?
Madami pa ako natutunan syempre sa mga bagay-bagay dun sa may UE na hindi ko natutunan dun. Mas natutunan ko po dito sa
Okay.
NC.
Okay. So, yung 18 matches, kasi yung mga players na matagal nang lalaro dito sa NC, hindi pa sanay. Kasi dati ang season, pagkatapos ng 9 na laro, tapos na.
Tapos na po.
Ngayon, 18. So, hindi biro yun. Mas marami pa sa UAP.
Ang pinagandaan ko lang talaga po yung katawan ko mismo. Palakasin lalo yung katawan, tsaka yung utak. Ayun lang po sabi nila, coach. Kasi bugbugan po eh.
Yes. Okay. Rocky, sa listahan ng mga scorers, number 4 ka. So, halos 18 points per match yung naibibigay mo sa Binild. Nafe-feel mo ba yung pressure or yung responsibility na kailangan mo mag-deliver every match para sa team mo?
For me po, hindi ko po na-feel yung pressure. Kasi sabi nga po ni coach, enjoy lang sa loob ng court. Huwag lang maglagay ng parang dadalhin sa yung mga bagay-bagay na nasa labas, huwag dalhin sa loob ng court.
Okay. Kanino ka pinaka na-challenge? Kanino ka pinaka na-challenge? Kasi syempre, maraming magagaling na spikers sa NCAA, San Andres, Berdal ng Arellano.
Basta challenge po talaga kay Ben.
Okay.
Sa Mapua. Noong unang round po, natalo po kami. Nila.
Okay.
Sila po yung first round na...
Kasi 8-0 kayo, di ba?
Opo.
Anong first round? Parehas kayong 8-0, tapos kayo naglaban. Ano ang nangyari doon sa first round meeting?
Kaya po kami natalo doon, parang wala po kami sa focus lahat. So, di po kami nakatutok sa ginagawa ng kalaban. Parang iniisip, parang diadaanan lang po namin yung mga nila, ginagawa.
Okay. And then yung Mapua, na-sweep nila yung first round. Pero this second round, naka 4 losses sila. Kayo naman yung mas umangat. So, second round meeting against Mapua, ano ang nagbago at nakabawi kayo?
Pinagpansin po talaga namin yung blockings namin sa kanila.
Okay, so blocking.
At binantayan po talaga namin yung mga wing spiker, lalo na si Ben, si RJ, tsaka yung kaliwet po nila. Ayun lang po yung puwapalay sa kanilang tatlo.
Okay. May ano ba yan? May mga kasama bang trash talkan yan sa net pag naglalaban kayo ng ibang teams?
Meron naman po.
Ano yung mga, ano yung pinakamalalang sinabi sa'yo na trash talk para mawala ka sa game mo?
Parang sinabihan ako na baklang kali.
Wow! Harsh! Okay, ano sinabi mo?
Dead ma lang.
Dead ma lang.
Tuloy lang yung laro.
Wow. Okay. Sa mga teams naman, kanino ka pinaka na-challenge, Rocky?
Sa Letran po.
Okay.
Doon po talaga na-challenge. Lalo sa middle po nila.
Si Vince Himzon. Okay. Ano sa tingin mo yung kumbaga workaround or solusyon para makascore against two-time best middle blocker?
Kailangan talaga lusutan si Vince ang hirap. So ginagawa ko na lang pa-check kahit pahaba Puro cross court.
Okay.
Hindi ko talaga dinadala sa kanya. Iniiwas ko ta blockings mo.
Okay. Feel mo ba, Rocky, na this is your year, season 100, magcha-champion ng Binild Blazers?
Yes, kung pagtatrabuhan po namin ng maayos, makukuha po namin to hanggang dulo.
Last question, Rocky. Since sinabi mo na baka hanggang season 103 ka pa dito sa NCAA, ibig sabihin, marami ka pang chances na makakuha ng championship or baka several championships pa. What would it mean for you na maibalik ang corona dito sa Binil?
Persuntok sa buwan sa mga sa amin, mga basher. Lalo na yung mga walang sumusuporta sa amin dati. Ngayon, daming suporta po namin. Lalo na po yung office namin sa sport. Todo support ko
Ano
sila.
ba mga sinasabi ng mga basher?
Parang, di nyo makukuha yan. Puro kayo, parang larong kalye lang kayo.
Talaga? Larong kalye?
So parang
Lala naman
sinabi lang nila, coach, na huwag pansinin. Mag-stick lang kami sa system na ginagawa ni coach.
So ano message mo sa mga bashers bago tayo magtapos?
Sa mga bashers namin dyan, kung banda kayo sa amin tong taon na to.
Rocky Moto, one of the top scorers and ace spikers ng Binil Blazers. Rocky, maraming salamat. And I'll see you in NCAA Season 100.
Thank you po.
Up next, two young guns on a mission. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wants to bring the thunder, but Tyrese Haliburton and the Pacers are out to defend their home turf. Now the big question is, who takes control? Who makes a statement? Well, we're about to find out tonight. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It is time to keep your eyes on the prize. Okay, this isn't just any NBA Finals. This is the basketball gods lighting a fire under the idea that culture, chemistry, and chips on your shoulder still matter. Now, in the Loud City, we have Thunder versus Pacers, aka Shai versus Haliburton, the youngest finals team in nearly 5 decades against the league's hottest squad of 2024. Now, this isn't just a sequel. This is actually something totally new, something nobody predicted back in October, but hey, now we're here and everybody's watching. So look, these are not your usual final suspects. Neither of these squads has a banner in their current zip code. These are franchises that just actually 3 years ago were basically rebuilding from the studs. Combined win total back then, 49. Now, they're both 12-4 in the playoffs, blasting through their respective conferences like kids who just find out Greece's got extended. All right, let's start with Indiana. Indiana ran through Giannis and the Bucks, steamrolled a top-seeded Cleveland team, and silenced the Knicks in Game 6 like they were chasing ghosts from way back in 1999. Now, meanwhile, Oklahoma City turned the Western Conference into a statement. They didn't just beat teams here, they overwhelmed them. A 30-point closeout over Minnesota? I mean, come on, that's not just basketball, right? That's actually sending a message. So, let's talk about age here. The Thunders are the youngest NBA Finals team in 48 years. Now, just think about that for a moment. The last time a group this young made it here, Star Wars had just hit theaters, and I wasn't actually even born yet. But they don't play like rookies here. Chet Holmgren looks like he's downloaded every Kevin Garnett and Team Duncan YouTube video and installed them into his game. Jalen Williams, the dude plays like he's been to 3 finals already. And let's talk about SGA, okay? The MVP, the coolest superstar in the league right now. A walking bucket with a killer instinct that never shows its teeth. It just stares you down. The Pacers are that team you forgot about until they shoved the league aside, and it starts with Tyrese Haliburton. He's actually one of my favorites in the league right now. He's got a smile on his face, a beautiful one at that, a logo 3 in his bag, and a quiet rage that says, hey, you should have believed in me from the start. Then you add Pascal Siakam into the equation, who's been here before and has the receipts to prove it. Now, Pascal Siakam brought Toronto a title, and now he's dragging Indiana into the spotlight. There's grit all over this roster here. Obi Toppin, Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith. These guys aren't just stars. They're workers. They're exactly what Rick Carlisle loves, players who buy in. Now, OKC did not make splashy trades here. They drafted, they developed, took the time, got patient, and kept receipts. They let Mark Dinolt build a system that looks like it came from a lab built by Sam Presti and Greg Popovich. They're 80-18 this season, 80-18. That's not a typo, that's dominance. They went 29-1 versus the East in the regular season and 61 double-digit wins. That's history. Literally, nobody has ever done that. But here's the kicker, as usual. They're not getting ahead of themselves here. After blowing out the Wolves, Shea basically just said, this ain't the goal. Yep, that's leadership that we're talking about, and that is so scary. Well, not for him, but, for their competitors, for Indiana Pacers. So tomorrow in Oklahoma City, we're getting the series we never expected but absolutely deserve, and I am so excited. Both teams want validation here. One wants a ring for the rebuild, and the other, obviously, a banner to finally hang in Gainbridge. This isn't Celtics-Lakers here. This isn't Warriors Dynasties Part 5. This is two basketball labs with test tubes full of belief and swagger looking for the final chemical spark. And somebody's gonna get the last laugh here, but we are gonna see who that is exactly. Stay ahead of the game as the battle for the NBA title heats up with high-stakes games. Here's your odds breakdown for tomorrow's game number 1. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. But before we go, think on this. From a 4-time NBA champion, 4-time MVP, and the NBA's all-time leading scorer, LeBron James, once said, "Don't be afraid of failure. This is the way to succeed." And with that said, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you again tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Erika Kristensen-Lee. Have a good evening, everyone.